Okay, Roger, why don't you start up and tell me now?
This is a sign indicating the directions from the new river road to the old river road to Laurel Lane where the farm is located. It's about 100 acres. Out of the 100 acres, there's 60 acres of good tillage. This is, as we proceed down the lane towards the farm, shows the buildings. I built that, it burned in 1939, and I rebuilt it in 1940. Moved in June of 40. I had $3,600 of insurance on it, all I had. The barn, very, very old. That barn been pretty largely rebuilt all the time I was there. The barn is 85 to 100 years old. As a very young boy, I lived on Salem Street. My father farmed there, and he rented a place there. And then Osgood Street up in West Andover. And then we moved down to, most of my recollections are on Lowell Street. I had worked on Arguilla Road here with the Rennies, George Rennie. They had a strawberry farm. They worked for Mr. Pratt, who lived in Reading, and he was an old Yankee farmer, and he raised strawberry plants. And so they worked for him, and they thought, well, why can't we start a farm? So they started a farm up here, and as a young boy, 12 years old, they knew my brother and I were over there, so Mr. Rennie said, we need boys to trim plants. So the first money I ever earned, I used to walk from the farm down there every afternoon after school and trim plants. And of course I was interested in strawberry, been my whole life since. There were new varieties coming in and we'd lose them. And we didn't know what was the trouble, but actually it was a virus. It gets in strawberries and destroys them. The first strawberries that I remember were wild strawberries that grew in the meadow there on Arguilla Road. And I used to pick them while I was tending the cows as a boy. And I often wonder why there isn't any more, and the virus destroyed them. They're very susceptible. Anyhow, I started raising strawberries, and I put out a little circular and had a little plant business going, in addition to raising the vegetables. And one of my main crops over there, vegetable crops, was carrots. And I raised about 25 acres of carrots every year. And I raised carrots, spinach, and parsnips. And in addition, I grow asparagus roots. This is one of the fields sowed to carrots. Well, the first ones we plant in April, we get them around the 5th of July, 6th of July. It takes about 65 days or so. So now the picture already for harvest. See, we got a tractor, it has a lift bar that goes behind it, controlled hydraulically. We straddle the bed and loosen the carrots. That penetrates 8 to 10 inches deep. Then the crew, once they're loosened, they go along and they pull the carrots and put them in bunches. And any cows, some are too small, cows, we just leave them right in the field. The bunches are all nice carrots. Then we stack them onto this trailer, go out early in the morning, and we load the trailer. We've had as many as 175 crates packed out of there. My vegetable business was bigger than my strawberry business. About the time that I moved to the western part of the state, they were just about even. The amount of money I got from, I grow some strawberries and strawberry plants, was about even with what I got out of the vegetable crops. The vegetables had much bigger acreage, of course, because we had 60 acres planted every year. Only 15 of it won. This is my crew in the springtime. I have local boys, school boys, taking on a Saturday, and you can see those Puerto Ricans. The Puerto Rican government was up here soliciting employment for Puerto Ricans. And one of my neighbors was doing it successfully. So I took a chance and got 2 men. And they worked out very well. They usually come about April 1st. For me, because that's when I needed them. And they'd stayed about October 1st.
Did the same ones come back year after year?
I had some men work for me in 1918. Excuse me. Second from the left in the top row, one of the best men I had, he was with me 17 years. and right in the middle, there's two fellows there with me at least 15, 16 years. And I employed 5 of them every year, 5 or 6, and the rest of the labor was kids that worked piecework for me. Then I worked with the county agent, and they put me in touch with the USDA, and I went to strawberry school in Beltsville, Maryland, where they have 11,000 acres they do experiment with. And they were creating foundation stock that was free of virus. I got 5 or 10 plants of each variety that we grew here, and I put them in the screen and raised them there, and then I took those plants and I sprayed them too. They found that the virus was transmitted with aphids, strawberry aphids they call them, because they're common on strawberries. And then I took those plants out of the screen and I put them in rows and sprayed them every week so that there would never be any aphids on them. Then I used that as foundation stock to build up my virus-free stock. And I had, meantime, I contacted Rutgers University, and they were creating virus-free stock of the New Jersey varieties. 2 or 3 of them were common to us. So I had as many as 20 varieties. I was always trying to get something new that would improve. And through the help of the county agent, he tipped me off on where to go on soil fumigation was coming in. This is one of the tillage operations. We did extensive cover cropping of the land before we planted anything, strawberries especially.
What do you mean by that? Cover crop?
When the land is vacant, not growing another crop, we grow a Sudan or rye or something, and we'll pick up the fertilizer you put in and put it in the organic form. Then you have to take it down with a bog harrow like we're doing there. Now, we had the problem, we used to have to mulch. And we used to haul salt hay from Plum Island, the Plum Island area down. And the farmers cut the lashes. And the reason we liked salt hay, it wouldn't blow in the wind. It spread easily, and we found that we leave the salt hay there. We uncover the strawberries as we dug them. We leave the salt hay there and scatter it. After the plants were dug, like if we dug 12 acres, we had 12 acres of straw laying around. We plow that down, and for 2 years, the carrots benefit from that decay because of trace elements in salt marsh hay. Shows the variation, and that's the pump near the Merrimack River. That had a 6x6 engine, 6-cylinder engine, with 6 or 8 inch suction that fed most of the farm. We had about 60 acres under irrigation. Every 50 feet there's an opening, and you can move the pipes made of aluminum, move it back and forth across the field, and you water the whole field. That's one reason why I moved there, on the water. I could see that farming was getting so expensive, nobody could afford to grow anything without having a water supply. You know, the old farmers used to plant stuff and hope that they missed a crop or two. It didn't cost them very much, but as the cost of growing got more, you had to guarantee you're going to get a crop, or you'd be broke at the end of the season. Some of the land wasn't suitable for nursery, so I reached a limit. After being 30 years there, I couldn't expand my production any because I didn't have land enough. I reached a point where the demand was greater than I could produce, which is a very good situation to be in. See? And so I knew I had to move. I was 64 or 5 then, and I, like your husband, I knew when to quit. The pressure gets so great, you know what I mean? If you're going to enjoy your retirement, you can't wait, you can't walk and enjoy it, you know.
Right.
So when the time came, of course, it hinged more or less on my selling the farm.
Yes.
And I sold it for a good price, and that enabled me to finance a better farm out in the valley. South Digfield, Hatfield, and Whately. At time, land was available. Now you can't buy any out there. It's just with 500 acres.
So that farm is still raising strawberries.
Oh yes,